to slow down this offense. It has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
The 15-yard line.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Second and 6.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles.
And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. Logan Thomas. It'll be a 1st and 10 coming up as this offense takes over possession of the football in the 3rd quarter. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He'll air this out deep for Harmon. This is caught inside the 15. And he's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory. And they rattle off a big one. 46 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some.
And it's caught. Touchdown. Logan Thomas there to make the grab. Foul for the PAT. Here's Sloman. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
At their own 26-yard line.
Our visitors getting set to take over on offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap.
Nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down. It's a safety blitz and a sack for Earl Thomas. Oh, free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Montez Sweat in there to drop him at sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. It's going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. So a free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. And some space here.
return that gets you to midfield is a great return. One first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He is hoping to find the end zone for a third time, and we sit now in the third quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
Kenneth Murray on the coverage.
He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's Tressway now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
60 Bison, 60 Bison. Mike, 55, right there in the middle.
They started on the ground with Eckler. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. The tackle by Cole Holcomb.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
He'll get this to Eckler. And he'll go out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the third down conversion.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half. Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Complete to Joe Reed. A 5-yard.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here.
31's the mic. Here we go, G.
From the shotgun, here's Herbert, and that is incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And taken right at the 35. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now trotting back out with the rest of his offensive mates, the big tight end. It seems right now it doesn't matter how much protection they put on him. He's finding the end zone. It doesn't matter as we look at some of these highlights.
And these guys have just become big wide receivers in today's game. Used to be that they played in the middle of the field, and that's where you found them. Now, with different formations, different alignments, they become wide receivers and run routes exactly that way. So hard to defend, and these guys are getting it done. And today, that's exactly what we're seeing.
Kenneth Murray, the linebacker, there to make the play defensively.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
The ball carrier.
Joey Bosa in on the stop.
Down at the 39-yard line. 1 yard gain. Brings up second.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. First down marker at the 31. It's third down.
Gain of 3. Brings up third.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on third down.
And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad.
At their own 15.
So here are visitors to take over on offense. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
We got 3. We got
A shotgun snap for Herbert. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
11 yards there, first down.
11 on the play.
Out of the gun, Herbert. This complete to Henry over the middle. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Herbert throwing again. Nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down. Chase Young, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. From the gun, Herbert. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And we are inside at 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
The tackle by Kenneth Murray. A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 28-yard line. Today,
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Brooklyn, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll have another home date next week as the Kansas City Chiefs come to town. Meanwhile, for our visitors, they'll fall back to 500 at